Hi guys, Dinner Lady here. Right, so today I'm doing another one in comfort food. It's one that I seen a long time ago, completely forgot all about it, and then looking through the other day and I found it again, and it's called a Cumberland Tattie Pot. So I'll bring you down and I'll show you all the ingredients that you'll need. Right, so there was two sort of recipes for it. You can either use beef or lamb. Now we don't have lamb very often because it is pretty expensive, so I thought we would get some lamb for it today. I've got an onion, 2 medium carrots, I think that's about 450 grams of potatoes. I'd say a little bit of a Swede, about that much. You want 100 grams, or roughly, this is a bit over with 2 rounds in there, of black pudding. You need a little handful of mint and 2 bay leaves. You also need 25 grams of butter and 600 mils of beef or lamb stock. I've got a lamb stock cube. If you don't have that, just use beef. That's not a problem. And I have a tablespoon of flour. I have some oil there, and also have 25 grams of grated cheese. So it starts off on the hob, and then we'll move on, put it in a casserole dish, put the potatoes on the top. It's a bit like a hot pot when you think about it. Apart from the hot pot, I don't think has the black pudding or the mint or anything in it. So let's get on, and the first thing I'm going to do is get the lamb leg steaks chopped up and get that started to brown in the pan. Right, so I've got my meat board out, and I'm just going to try and get these lamb steaks out of here. The vacuum pack sometimes does my head in. Excuse the noise. So I'm just going to get those out. Over there. And I'm just going to cut this into chunks. Probably about that size. Yeah, so some of the recipes did have beef in or mutton. Now, to be perfectly honest, I've had mutton a few times when I was a child. And it was when I used to go to my grandma's, not my nana's, my grandma's house. And she would always do barley and mutton stew. Ugh. She never cooked the barley properly, and I've never been able to have it since. But to be honest, you can't really get mutton that readily. I mean, I suppose if I spoke to the butchers in town, they might be able to get us some, but it's just getting up there when they can get it. Do you know what I mean? So I have had a look online for mutton, but it seems to be really expensive. Now, I know it's probably going to be better stuff than what you would normally be able to get, but, you know, you can always just splash out on stuff like that, can you? You've got other things to pay for. Right, so I'm just waffling on while I'm cutting this up. Right, so I'm going to wash my hands, and then we'll get this into the pan to start browning off. Right, so I have my pan on a medium heat. I'm going to use about 2 tablespoons of oil. Now this is going to do the veggies as well as the mutton, so if you think that's quite a bit. And I'm going to get the mutton, I'm saying now, it's lamb. Get the lamb in there to start browning off. Get it into the oil so it doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan. And in the meantime, I'll start chopping my veggies up. So we'll come back to you when these are nice and brown. Right, so they've had about 4 or 5 minutes. I'm going to add in the Swede, the carrots and the onions. And we're going to sweat them off as well in with that lovely oil and then juices from the lamb. Get a bit of colour on your veggies as well. Some of them let out some water, and they'll pick up all the crispy bits from the bottom of the pan and everything as well. Right, so I'm going to give that about 4 or 5 minutes just to start getting a little bit of colour on the veggies. Right, so that's at about 5 minutes. You see they've got a little bit of colour on, and I'm just going to pump in the flour. Tea towel because the side of these gets hot. Just put that through there like that. Get them all coated, which means that when you put your liquid in, it won't lump up. Oh, just dropped a bit. Right. Just about 30 seconds, that's all you need. And now I'm going to pop in the 2 bay leaves and the 600ml of stock. Now when I was reading this recipe, it said to just boil this up for about 10 minutes, I think it was, or 5 to 10 minutes, then put it in your casserole dish and then cover it for 35 to 40 minutes. But I think when you've got carrots and swede, which are really hard vegetables, so I'm going to do it on top here for about 15-20 minutes, just to make sure that them are getting all nicely softened. The last thing you want is to bite into a bit of uncooked swede or carrot. So I'm going to put that up to the boil, and now what I've done is I've just chopped up my black pudding. I think this is just going to disintegrate into the gravy. So I'm going to pop a lid on and let that go for about 15 to 20 minutes. Right, so while that's in there, I want to slice my potatoes. Now, if you can do it really thin with a knife, you don't need anything like this. I got this, oh, I can't remember, it was a long time ago. I think I got a voucher or something from work, and it was for Lakelands in town. Don't even think that's there anymore. So in town, and I just went in, and this is the thing that I got with it. Now it has got a guard, which I will use once it goes down a bit, but just to start it off. Just terrify the life out of me. Right, I think that's about as far as I'm going to go without the guard on. At least once the guard's on, you know that it's not going to touch you. So I'm just going to continue and do the other 3 potatoes, and then by that time the stew is probably going to be done. Right, so that's had 15 minutes. I've tasted the sauce and it definitely needs some seasoning. So I'm going to put in some salt. And some pepper. And then I'll have it in, give it another taste. As you can see, the black pudding's starting, it's keeping its, but bits of it is just starting to come off into that gravy. And it tastes lovely. Let's check this again for a bit more seasoning. It's better, but it needs some more pepper. Right. Here we go. So I'm going to put it into my casserole dish there ready. I'm cooking this in the Kasori Jewel Blaze. Mainly because this fits in. So I'm just going to turn that off. Move that out of the way a second. And I'm just going to start ladling it into here. So I'll keep going with this until it's all in there. Right, so I kept saying to myself before I went back on there before, don't forget the mint, don't forget the mint. I forgot the mint. So I'm just going to put it in there. And as soon as that hits the heat, you can smell mint straight away. And just give that a nice stir around. And now I just lay the potatoes on. I think I've got quite a few bits of potato here with us cutting them thin. So I'm just going to do it like this first and then see if I need that fourth potato. I might not. If I don't, I'll just wrap it in cling film and put it in the fridge and use it on another day. But then because they are thin, I suppose I could double it up if I've still got lots left from here. Right, let's see how we go. There's still loads here. Just gonna bunch them up a little bit. Right, I'm gonna keep going with this. Right, so that's it. I have doubled them over. The potatoes, I had loads. I'll wrap that one up and that'll go in the fridge and I'll use it for another day. So this is your butter and I'm just gonna dot the butter in and around the potatoes. Let's keep going. Right, and then what we'll do is we'll put some foil over the top of this. And then we'll put it in the oven. Like I say, I'm using the Kasori, but if you want to put it in the ordinary oven, you set your oven non-fan at 200, or if it's fan, 190. That's what the recipe said. It's normally 20 degrees difference, but that's what the recipe says. So I'm going to put mine, with it being in the Kasori, I'm going to put mine on at 190. There we go. Get a little bit of kitchen roll for my fingers. Get kitchen foil out. And this goes, sorry for the noise, this can go down. And this goes in for about 35 to 40 minutes. Now I did test the swede and the carrots and I'd say they were about a third cooked. So I'm going to get this into the oven and I'll see you in about 35 to 40 minutes. Right, so that has had 35 minutes. Now if you're wondering what them knives are for, if you have an air fryer, because it's a whirlwind of air, unless you've tucked it in, your kitchen foil in properly, then it just rises up and hits the top. So what I do is I'll just put a couple of metal knives in there, which by the way it will be red hot. So I'm going to take it straight from there to the sink. You can hear that sizzle, and that just keeps the foil down. And then I'm going to take the foil off. They're definitely cooked. It's what you want. And now comes your cheese. It's 25 grams of cheese just to go nicely over the top. Then we're going to put it back in for another 10 minutes without the lid on. Brown these potatoes off and crispen up that cheese. Right, so same temperature, 190 for another 10 minutes. Right, so that's had 10 minutes, nice and crispy. I did do these too thin, but I think it's still going to be delicious. Melty cheese, but as you can see, it is bubbling like mad. So I'm going to leave it for about 10-15 minutes before we even think about taking out a portion. But I tell you what, it smells incredible. And if you look, you can see where some of the gravy has come through and it's really darkened up off that black pudding. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm really looking forward to this one. So we'll see you in about 10-15 minutes. Right, so I've given that about 15 minutes just to calm down. It's still really hot. So I want to get a portion out. Let's have a look. Wow. Oh, just licked my fingers there a little bit. Wow, that smells incredible. So Ian's here, so we're going to have a bit of a taste test, and that is my Cumberland Tattie Pie. So there it is, my Cumberland Tattie Pie.
Now then, right, time to dig in. Give this a try.
Well, we've never had it before.
We've never had it before, so yeah, I'm quite looking forward to it.
It's funny because when I seen Cumberland Tattie Pie, I thought it was going to be Cumberland sausages.
That gravy, because the black pudding's worked its way into it. Really rich, but really nice. Obviously, you've got to like black pudding. No good if you don't, but that is lovely. So it's a bit like a hot pot sort of thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
The gravy is lovely. Potatoes are crispy on the top, but nice and unctuous, the bits that are underneath.
It's still hot though, isn't it? That was after like, what, nearly 20 minutes? So don't dig into it straight away if you make it.
No.
Please don't, you'll burn your mouth off.
That's really, really tasty. Different. I like the inclusion of the black pudding. It's sort of melded its way into the gravy.
Yeah, but still got some big bits as well.
Yeah, it's lovely. Really, really tasty. I like that. Delicious. I'm going to have a little bit more of that before I take it away.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
A bit of crusty bread would be nice for that, actually.
We've got a pat bake roll in there.
Yeah, we could put that in there. Yeah, we could actually.
Right, anyway, we shall leave that there. Thanks so much for all your lovely comments. If you like the video, please give it and the new hype feature. It really, really helps us. It's just a click.
Yeah.
And it does really help us. I think you get 3 hypes in a week. So, yeah. Thank you all for your comments and all your lovely recipe ideas. We've both put little things on the community page so you can add them on there. If not, just post them in a comment generally under the video.
And if you want to actually message me personally, my email is in the description.
On your channel.
Yeah, because a few people have said, I'd like to get in touch with you, I've got recipes for you, blah, blah, blah. So just email us.
If you click on there, get yourself onto the channel, it should tell you in the description there your email address.
Yeah.
It should be there. Well, it is there. I know it is. So anyway, we'll stop waffling. So we'll catch you guys on the next one. So
thank you very much again.
Take care, everybody.
See you
soon.
later. Bye.
Bye.